Hello everybody, good evening. So this is the like a past webinar from QualySec where we like discuss about why penetration testing is uh, like important for the business success. So it's basically like in this cyberspace, the most vulnerable things is the software and the digital asset, because the like improvement of the cyber attacks after gaining the momentum from AI, right? So this is very important to learn about why it is very important for a business perspective, and in the daily lives also how it helps. So we'll listen from Pavitra Sahu. He's heading the cybersecurity team here in QualySec and the co-founder of QualySec as well. So yeah, so we'll directly jump into listening from Pavitra regarding why penetration testing is important for business success. Over to
Okay,
you, Pavitra.
thanks, Chandan. Thanks for introducing me. And beside me, Chandan, who is the founder and CEO of QualySec. So, about a little like before jumping into why penetration testing is important, just sharing few details of our and whom we represent. So, we represent QualySec, a leading penetration testing company, and we are only one company in India who perform process-based penetration testing, not just traditional penetration testing where a penetration tester just jump into a application and find for vulnerability, but there is certain process that we need to follow. So there are certain company in outside India that using this process based approach, but in India we are only one company that performing this. Until now, till the journey from 2020 to 2020, it's been 3 years, and we help or like almost 95 plus client and serve almost 20 plus countries around the globe. And around the globe we have also 110 plus global partners. And if I talk about our client range, there are like G Media, it's like India's largest media house. CloudGold is the US's largest cloud management platform. Konica Minolta is a very huge company, comes under Forbes 500. And once again, there are a lot of company we work with, from a giant company to a startup, from media to medical industry. Every industry also we work with. And if I talk about some services, we are only into the penetration testing, but in penetration testing, we are actually doing a lot of the things. For example, web pen testing, mobile app pen testing, API penetration testing, cloud external source code review, thick client penetration testing, and we are also into IoT as well as uh, blockchain penetration testing. And we are a member of NASCOM, DSI, and STPI, and we are also a ISO 27001 certified company.
Mhm.
So if I jump to our current agenda for this meeting, that is why penetration testing is important in business success. So the few points I have actually added here. One is the risk identification, like identify the vulnerability, find the vulnerability and their weaknesses in the system, uh, performing a pen test and testing and finding the issue.
Mhm.
Second is the risk mitigations, means not just finding is like half part done, then fixing it and retesting it so that our application is secure, so that a hacker cannot hack it, right? And the third one is compliance assurance. For example, certain companies need certain compliances. Healthcare company need HIPAA compliances. Payment card gateway company need PCI compliances. So for their compliances, there is a parameter they need to perform a security audit of their asset, of their infrastructure, of their web application, of whatever their mobile application. They have to perform a audit. So in that audit, they need a third-party penetration tester to perform this audit, this security audit. So in the compliance point of view, also it will gonna help, a penetration testing gonna help to achieve a certain industry standard. And then the client assurance, provide a confidentiality. Let's say B2B product who have a certain, or SaaS product who have a certain product that another huge company will gonna use. So in that case, the client, the huge company, a client definitely need a assurance that this product which they will gonna use is secure. So in that case also they need a penetration testing. Okay, this application is secure and we can use it, right? From client assurance point of view, a penetration testing is also important. Apart from is the reputation protection. For example, assume Google has a good reputation, we have a good reputation in the market, right? uh, Tomorrow, let's say some hacker or newbie or a tool comes into the place and hack our system and loot anything, or capture the database and sell in the black market, right? So our reputation will go down, our shares will, market shares will go down. So reputation is a very crucial point in a business point of view. So a penetration testing will gonna secure your reputation, secure a client reputation. So in that case also it is very useful. And last one but not least, which is very important, a approach, a holistic approach. So it's not about what we get. A approach means we, why we eat healthy, right? Why we stay healthy. It's a approach because we don't want to fall sick, right? Or we don't want anything happen to us on a health related issue. That's why we are like eat healthy, or like going to the like gyms or anything, right?
Mhm.
So this is a approach, not just a business like protection or assurance or compliance assurance. This is a approach we have to. Many company are approaching it. Many company are following it. They going for a like long term penetration testing process, like like 4 time a year, 2 time a year, continuous penetration testing. This is an approach, and this is why penetration testing is important. And there are three things actually what I believe a business need penetration testing. There are three things. One is for their business aspect, one is the security aspect, and another one is the compliance aspect. These three things, with my all experience with dealing with other businesses, other clients, helping them to secure their application, I find out these three reasons people need penetration testing. So first one is the business aspect. So business aspect is a like the necessity of a third party pen test report. So I'm giving an example. Let's say a B2B industry company. Let's take an example of Zoom. So you may all use the Zoom, right? The where we can go for a video chat, right? And assume it, this Zoom will gonna sell their product to a bank. Let's say the bank is HDFC Bank. The product is Zoom. The client is a bank, which is HDFC Bank. They approaching the bank that they they can use their product for the meetings, right? For the online meetings, it will gonna help to like sales meeting, internal meeting, or anything, right? The client is happy to take it, but there is a but. What? They need to know whether your application is secure, whether the Zoom application is secure or not. In that case, this Zoom company will find out a third party penetration testing company, not internal security auditor. Definitely, Zoom definitely have a lot of security researcher in their team, right? But not just internal. They need a third party pen test report from a third party auditing company, where our company QualySec is comes up. So Zoom, HDFC Bank, and then a third-party penetration testing company, QualySec will pop up, right? So QualySec will perform penetration testing on Zoom application or Zoom interface or their all the asset they have, and they create a third-party penetration testing report. This report will gonna address whatever the issue they have find, and then how they can be mitigated. Then we'll do, or a QualySec will gonna do uh, like retesting and ensure, okay, right now your application is secure, whatever the issue I have found, your development team has fixed it. Then we generate a letter of attestation. This point, this third party penetration testing report, the letter of attestation that we have is very essential. In the letter of attestation, what we mention, like
Mhm.
when we perform the pen test, what is the result we get, like how many critical, high, medium vulnerability we found, and then when we perform the retest, whether it's all the critical, high and medium vulnerability are fixed or not. And when we find out, okay, these are fixed, we mention their security like grade as excellent. And this letter of attestation, when the Zoom company will send to the HDFC Bank, okay, see our report and a letter of attestation from a third party company which is QualySec, so they can see, okay, this application is right now secure to use, and they will buy it, right? In this case, what will happen? The Zoom got a client, the HDFC got a secure platform to use. So in this scenario, a third party penetration testing is very important. And moving forward to the second part, which is the security aspect. Like penetration testing is important in the security aspect. See, the a product means assume a web application, mobile application, or anything. There are certain risk management like strategy in the application, in the company they should have. For example, any company, take Zoom, right? So let's change the example. Let's take Facebook. Okay, so definitely they should have some risk management strategy. So in their risk management strategy, security is a point one thing, right? uh, so they can go for a penetration testing. So in the penetration testing, what will happen? We will, or a auditor will simulate a real world hacking scenario. Like what is the real world hacking scenario? Like how someone can hack one Facebook account, right? Or any, how a other user can get access to a other user account. For example, a uh, my account, Pavitra account, using my Pavitra account, how can I see a message of Chandan accounts, right? So those kind of things we needed. Like in e-commerce, there are like how we buy a product which have $100, okay, $100 cost, how we can buy it at $5. So these are the real world hacking scenario that we need to make sure our application is not vulnerable to that, right? And the third point is, so lot of company what they do is right now just go for a security tools. There are a lot of security tools in the market like available, but in the security tools they are just like perform a surface level scan, not a deep level scan, where we comes up, right? How we comes up with the like deep level scan, we not just use automation tool but also use manual assessment, right? Both we combine, which is we called as hybrid approach. So in this scenario, like our penetration testers, like our expert, will perform the penetration testing manually. We also use some tools, but there are certain rules, right? When we have to run the tool, what type of issue need to be done with manual. So those kind of processes also we have. So not just tools are having certain limits, but in manual we can go more deeper inside.
And just adding to your point, Pavitra, so like as you mentioned, like the security tools have some limitation, right? And
Yes.
the manual thing, so see, just like authorization and authentication, so they can test little further, right? But not as a human effort, how we replicate the real world scenarios, right? So that is very important in the manual assessment, and that's why, like after having so much of like security tools, there is like so much importance company are giving to the manual effort as well.
Yes, exactly. So it's a great point to add is like those authorization testing, those business logic. So a tool is just a preloaded script. So
Yep.
it just have some preloaded script. They don't understand what is the logic, what is the functionality of your application. They just have some preloaded script and it will run all over your application, right? So yeah, thanks Chandan for adding this point. And moving forward, the last point in the compliance aspect. Why penetration testing is important in compliance aspect? We discussed three things or two things previously. One is the business aspect, where the third party penetration testing report comes up, right? Which is necessary. Second thing is the approach. Okay, what are the approach? Whether they have certain rules in house or not, right? Right now, the third thing and the major reason why company need penetration testing is compliance. So let's assume your company is in USA and you are selling a SaaS product. Okay, so according to government rule and regulation, you need to have complied with SOC 2 Type 2. If you have a product in healthcare, you need to, or having you store any patient information, healthcare information, then there is a HIPAA standard which is essential, right? So meeting those compliance and industry standard will gonna benefit the businesses. For a client point of view, if they have certain compliances, for example, right now we have ISO 27001 compliances. So those things will give us a competitive advantage. Similarly, if someone having the SOC 2, HIPAA, everything, right? So all the compliances, then they have a competitive advantage, and it will gonna give them upsell, if it will gonna help them in selling, help them in running, operating the business. So a compliance is very must. In India, most of people are only know the security compliances as ISO 27001, and most of people don't go for other compliances. But in UK market, GDPR is must. If you don't have any GDPR, you can't run a business in Europe market. Those France, UK, Germany, those Europe market, you can't do a business if you don't have GDPR. And those compliances, if you don't have certain compliances, you can't work with government bodies. Government, like if you think on a like business point of view, like government is the only one pillar who give lot of money to these companies, right? And some companies are only working with government bodies, and in this case, if you don't have certain compliances, you are not eligible to apply on their tender. So this is how a compliance is very important. We may not understand it, or we may not assume it is as a very large, but um, as market point of view, as global point of view, it is a very important to have certain compliances. What are those compliances? One is GDPR, which I just mentioned. In Europe, there is a GDPR. Not all over the world, everybody does need GDPR. Those who have a business in Europe and those who want to do business in Europe, so they need to have a GDPR. Second is PCI DSS. PCI DSS is for the payment card industry. Like those who have some payment gateway, those who store the payment informations, they need to have PCI DSS. For example, you use like those phone pay and Paytm, right? In the phone pay and Paytm, if you open it, they will mention, okay, we are PCI DSS and ISO 2700 compliance. It will give a user a mental peace that okay, whatever the information I put in my phone pay is secure because they are PCI DSS compliance. You understand, right? So there is PCI DSS comes under ISO 27001 is like an international standard, where this is just 27001 is for the security. There are other standard also for management, for everyone, right? For quality, but 27001 is the security standards. SOC 2 type 1 type 2, SOC 2 type 1 type 2 is for the SaaS companies who have certain product, and it's stored in cloud, and they using like monthly transaction. Those kind of things, SOC 2 will comes up in the picture. And till now, whatever the business we are doing, okay, SOC 2 in USA, major people come to us because they want to comply their product with SOC 2. That's why they are doing penetration testing. So, and HIPAA is for the healthcare who have store or entering any patient or healthcare health information details. So they need to have HIPAA compliances. In those compliances, this can be done by a auditing, by a certifications body. We are not a certification provider. Like we can provide any of our client a PCI DSS or ISO or GDPR, any certificate we can provide. There are two things to achieve these compliances. One is a auditor who audit it. One is a certificate provider who provide the certifications. We are the first one person who audit their application. We ensure okay, this is secure, right? And then they go for to a auditor company for the compliances. So we are just pre-validating before getting their compliances. There are certain there are certain industry standards that need to be followed. Like anybody can't say randomly just perform pen test and that is comply with certain industry compliances, right? No, there are certain standard are there. For example, what are those standards? There are OAPs, okay, open web application uh, standards, that OAPs, that is top 10 OAPs, mobile top 10 OAPs, web top 10. There are certain process that need to be followed to like perform a penetration testing. Just like those standards like OAuth, SANS, OSSTMI, PTS or ISSF, those are a rule maker that how you can or how a penetration tester can perform pen testing. There are certain rule. For example, like in cricket we have certain rule, right? That if someone get uh, like uh, like got catch out, like if in the ball is in the air and someone catch it before dropping it, it will be out. There's a certain rule. So these web stands are having a certain rules. Okay, for web app penetration testing you have to follow these things, you have to check these things, you have to uh, process through these things, and you have to find this type of issue so that you can achieve a industry standard. And here in our company we are actually following 6 industry standards. So these are in the way like WAP, SANS, OSSTMI, PTS, ISSAF, as well as a web app hacker methodology. And if I talk about the methodology, that report writing methodology, what kind of report, like in the report writing, what see those GDPR compliances or PCI compliances will not accept any other report. They only accept NIST or CBSS, right? And we are doing this NIST 800 standard, so that our report will be globally accepted. Like if a company is in USA, is in like Japan or Korea, our report will be accepted because we follow NIST 800 standard to report it. What is NIST 800 standard? Like we like divide the issue in 5 parts: critical, high, medium, low, and minimal. So how we like calculate whether this vulnerability is critical or not, how we calculate this vulnerability is medium or not. So there this methodologies comes up, like this NIST 800 methodology will come up. So yeah, this is about like three reason why company need penetration testing. And the second is like how QualySec is actually helping like our companies, and why QualySec is differ. Okay, the first is like when it comes to security, we never settle for average. We go beyond. As we mentioned, like in our logo, if you see, there is a tagline mentioned beyond cybersecurity, not just cybersecurity. We go beyond. What is this beyond? We actually go beyond in 3 steps. One is in penetration testing, one is in reporting, another is in compliances. What is in reporting? In first is in penetration testing. In penetration testing, we first of all we are the only company who perform process-based penetration testing. Process-based, right? Second is we are not automated or manual. We combine those things. So it's a hybrid approach. We follow hybrid approach. Third, we not just a like run something or a penetration testing do the manual stuff. We have a certain process, like what to do, when to do, where to do, everything is predefined. So these things is make us apart from other companies, these 3 things. And if I talk about the reporting, we have research like around more than 50 cybersecurity company. We got their report, how they report it, how they deliver a vulnerability to their client, and we find out and we create our report in such a way that we are the best report provider. Like in our report there are specific thing mentions. In our report we have like given them the name of the vulnerability, their like likelihood, impact, and severity of the vulnerability. The description means what is the vulnerability means. The consequences means what the impact of the vulnerability on their application. Instances also we provide. For example, like in which part we find this issue. In a application, there are some issue it's not present whole over the application, but in certain part of the application. So we give them where we find this issue and a step to reproduce, like from opening their application till exploiting, what the steps we follow, what the scripts we put, everything we provide to them, and with screenshot, with step-by-step screenshot, with clear and visible screenshot, which is taken manually, not using automation tool, which will take manually, so that we can make our report a zero false positive. So if someone don't know what is zero false positive is, in our report, if we provide 18 vulnerability, there will be no vulnerability that is false information. If we if we think and if we got okay, this is 100% a vulnerability, then we report it. So these things will like in the POC and screenshot. Then what we give them a uh, remediation, like how their development team can fix it. In the remediation step, there are four things we do. First, we give them certain letter, okay, you have to fix this issue, or like fix this issue using this methods. Second, we give them CW number, OAPS number, and SANS number, so they can re-verify or done the research. Okay. Third thing, will give them some references. And references means like certain URLs, a certain research paper, certain video, how other development team fix those issues. We gave them the third thing. Four is a consolation call. We gave them a consolation call to like to fix those issues, or if their development team have certain any questions, like to reproducing, to fixing any question, we have a consolation call. So those things, whatever I mentioned, this process-based hybrid approach is mentioned here. Those the comprehensive and development-friendly report, and the uh, like cancellation call, and the fixation. Yeah, this is the very important point. After fixing it, let's say the report we deliver, then like we perform a pen test first, then we create a report and deliver to their development team. Then their development team fix those issues. We help them in fixing. Then we go for retesting it, right? Like we perform retest to ensure okay, whatever the issue we have found are perfectly fixed. And when we see okay, all the critical high and medium level are fixed, then we generate a letter of attestation where we mention that when we perform the pen test, and when we perform the retest, and right now what is the current security posture of their application. Here, there, we letter of attestation and a security certificate, a QualySec verified security certificate we provide. So there are four things we provide. If you imagine, like report, retest report, letter of attestation, certificate. These four things we provide. And about one more best thing is, till now, this is our greatest achievement that we feel. Till now, none of our client face any data breaches. Till all the that 95 clients and all the 250 applications that we have secured, till now, no single complaint about a data breach of any of our client. So this represent how deep penetration testing we are doing. So yeah, Chandan, you want to add anything?
Yeah, so you're thoroughly cover the how Qualysec is helping them like in the penetration testing with our process-based approach, with the details and the development-friendly report, and not the least, but the after the giving them the penetration testing report, we help them to secure their application by helping their developers, and after also we are providing them like a uh, executive summary with
Hmm.
the security certificate and letter of attestation. So that is very helpful to a client perspective, to a executive perspective. So thanks for covering every details. So I think that's all from our end. It's about to time is running out also. So thanks Pavitra, and thanks everyone who joined and make this webinar so much interactive. And thank you so much Pavitra for your all the information you have shared about the uh, details about why penetration testing is very much essential for business success. So this is a wonderful webinar, and hope everyone got their part from this, and everyone have some learning. to move forward. So thanks everyone. Thanks for joining, and have a great rest of the evening.